Go. The Hangout on air is live. Hello, everybody. This is Vance Stevens and Al Ain, United Arab Emirates, and we're in a Sunday session that moved to Monday because, well, anyway, long story. But in any event, Judy was very gracious about making the change, and so right now it's Monday, the 26th of May, 2014. We're here with Judy Thompson, who's going to talk to us on a couple of topics. One is radical English, and looking forward to learning more about that. And the other is her color pronunciation system that she's invented, and she's going to tell us all about it. And with us here, we have Maria Colusa. Say that again? Colusa, right? Colusa. From Santa Fe, Argentina. Robert Walkman from, he's in the Philippines right now.
From California,
originally. From California, okay. And Teresa Almeida Essa.
Yes,
who is in Portugal. And of course, Judy, who's in Canada. Okay. And you can tell us more where you are. And we're so glad that you joined us and that other people did as well. And we're looking forward to hearing what you have to tell us. And so welcome.
Well, thanks very much, and thanks very much for inviting me. The Webheads and this program is a fantastic organization for teachers who are willing and excited to learn about adding technology and new information to their arsenal of teaching skills. Things are moving so quickly. This is a fantastic resource for teachers. So thanks very much for inviting me. So let's get going. Let's go right to the next slide. And I'm going to say that a lot because Vance is the boss of the slides. So
yeah.
We're going to the
I need to say something about that as well because okay. There are some logistical aspects to this. First of all, we're streaming on webheadsinAction.org/live, and if anyone is in the stream and wants to join us in the text in the Hangout, the link is there at webheadsinAction.org/live. It's also at learning2gether.tvworks.com. So. And I need to put it in the Google Events page. I'll do that in a moment. So anyway, you're welcome to join us in the Hangout, or you're welcome to listen. There's a chat below the stream at webheadsinAction.org/live, and if you want to communicate with us from the stream, from listening to the stream, you can type there. I'm monitoring it here on my netbook. Right there is the chat wing chat, so I'm watching that. There's a chat here in Google Hangout. If anything happens in between those, I'll try to alert people. And the other thing I need to say is, if you're in the Hangout and you want to see the slides, the only way you can see the slides is if you're in the Hangout. So in the Hangout, you can see that the slides are on one Vance computer, and you'll have to click on that slideshow to get it to become big on your computer in the Hangout. So. If you want to see Judy talking, you can click on Judy's icon. If you want to see me, you can click on me. If you want to see the slides, do that. I'm running those from another computer here. Okay, Judy, sorry about that.
No problem, and thanks for getting
the second. Yeah, and so now she's requested the second slide. There it is, Radical English.
So Radical English, this speaks exactly to what you're doing with the Webhead. So this is an organization of new ways of teaching English, all aspects of English. And what's the same about them? Well, there you go. So we're international, and we've certainly shown up to be international today. Pattern thinkers, and you're going to hear pattern more and more and more. They're the simplest way, the common denominators, the empirical formulas, and these have been resolved for all aspects of English, and that's what Radical English is about. Simple solutions for teaching and learning, and they come from a place of what is always true. So it's not about details, it's whether or not the details are true or not. It's not about the exceptions and piles and piles and piles of information and rules. It's not about that at all. It's these simple things are always true, go. And then the students can take that framework, that model with them for all of their own encounters in English. So it's all these systems are very, very portable and very, very functional for students. And I've got to say, they're all radical. So we're an organization of teachers who uses only this kind of method. Okay, next slide. And here we are. This is the original group. So Teresa, who's online, has just a brilliant system for using L1 to bridge to L2. I've never seen it before. I think it works for all languages. She'll be very, very modest about that, but she's coming out with a dictionary, and her forte is teaching Portuguese speakers English. So, but the system that she uses works for every language as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to test that theory if I live long enough. So Rita Baker, the global approach. Rita Baker drives a Jaguar. Oh, I don't know very many ESL teachers who drive a Jaguar. So successful has she been in the last 30 years with her global approach, including she has a new book out called Brain Power. Brain Power. It's phenomenal and an easy read, and it's how the brain works and then how learning works with the brain, which is really an introduction, a corollary, if you will, to the global approach, and it explains how it is that she teaches, and she has 3 triangles with grammar that explain all possible grammar configurations in English. So it's simple, and it always works, and it's portable. So that's the global approach. Jennifer England is in Spain. She applies everything that she learns to business English, which, as you know, they don't have a lot of time. They have lots and lots of money, and they have no time. So business people need results really, really quickly, and so they love the radical approaches. Judith Tarzi, I just decided today she's edutainment because she builds vocabulary with games, and she's brilliant. Peggy Tharp is an American accent coach, is her website, but she's discovered and taps into the sine waves. What's always true, what's true at the sound level, some letters are important, some aren't. What's true at the word level, English is a stress-based language, some syllables are important, some aren't. What's true at the sentence level, some words are important and some aren't. And she takes that on and on and on. She's amazing. She has a new book out for Arabic speakers, American pronunciation for Arabic speakers, and you can see very, very quickly Peggy's tremendous grasp of how to teach quickly so people get it. And then there's me. I'm going to talk about me for the rest of the thing, so you don't need to hear about that. Okay, next slide.
Let's talk about Maria for a moment. She's asked me, where are the slides in the, let's see, Robert is also talking to me in the chat wing, and he says we're on the 3rd slide. That's to Robert, I believe we are.
I thought her question was where are we in the slides? And I'm wrong. Where are the slides?
No, the question is where are the slides, right? You need the slides.
So she's going to click on Vance like I clicked on Vance, and then and it took a few seconds. It didn't happen right away.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Came up
now
with
I got
a blue
it. Thank you so much.
line around it.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've.
Okay.
Last time I've interacted here.
Yeah.
I forgot certain things.
Okay, so next slide.
Well, Learning Together, we decided, is the perfect topic.
Judy, before you continue, Judy,
Sorry.
sorry, before you continue, can I just say that Judy and I met through LinkedIn. She got in touch with me, and the title of her book immediately caught my attention. It's titled English is Stupid, and I said, wow, what a fabulous title. And then I started searching, Googling Judy Thompson, and I found lots of interesting stuff. And then, you know, the months went on, and we we met, and we are in this group together.
We met and fell in love.
You'll have to get used to us too. We're very interactive.
Yes.
So we love to interact with people. Anyway, so go ahead. I think I got the next slide.
We're on Speaking Made Simple, and that's the name of the whole system, and we're not doing the whole system today. We're talking about the foundation, but it's all built around the big problem with English, and the big problem is there's no bridge from letters to sound. You can't read it and then speak it. You can't listen to it and be a fluent speaker, and then you're going to have tremendous problems reading it. That's the breakdown. And this isn't a complete list. Blue, you, to, few, do, through, who. I mean, juice, beautiful, Sue. It goes on and on and on. There are no rules. There is no connection between spelling and speaking in English. Period. So that's where we're starting from. Okay, next slide. So we're going to talk about how English got to be such a mess, but only for a few seconds, because this is also useful for students. And then we're going to go straight to the English phonetic alphabet that uses the colors, and then we're going to wrap up with pronunciation tools for teachers and students. And this is going on SlideShare, so you can, and I think this is archived, so people can watch this at their leisure. So I am going to go quite quickly. And SlideShare has great slides, but no sound anymore. They took the sound off. So this archive is going to be the best place to go over this if you miss something, because I'm going to go like lightning. Okay, next slide. Please. Oh, how English got to be such a mess, or the history of English. And the truth is, spoken English and written English are unconnected and have never been unconnected. So spoken English and 40 sounds, the top line there, the red line, English was spoken for 1,000 years before William Caxton wrote it down. And when he wrote it down, he made one heck of a mess, not considering the 26 letters that he was using and how to accurately represent 40 sounds. In truth, he should have added a few vowels. Just for a start, he should have added a few vowels. He didn't. He was a businessman. He made a lot of money. And all of our education happens on the bottom line, the written. Because native speakers, we go to school, you know, we speak, everybody speaks their first language before they're 2 years old. So when we went to school, we only learned writing. The alphabet, spelling, grammar, punctuation, literature, composition, reading is only the bottom line. Nothing was taught about speaking because it was in place. Nobody had to teach me how to speak. They had trouble teaching me how to be quiet. But, so there's no actual awareness of how speaking works, and abysmal results in teaching speaking because we teach writing, because that's what we know. We expect a result in speaking, and that never happens. So English got broken really into two languages, written and spoken. It happened on one day, one man. He ruined English for everyone for all of time, and he did it in 1476, and then we copied it. 1603, spelling was completely random, Shakespeare spelled his own name 14 different ways, and none of them was the way that we spell it today. So and in 1603, society said, you know, this is not working. We have to standardize spelling, and they took all of William Caxton's spelling mistakes and they put it in a big fat book. What's the name of that book? I thought you guys were interactive. 1603, what's the name of the book?
Dictionary?
The dictionary, the big book of mistakes. And then copied this guy's mistakes for all of time, for 400 years. It's a travesty. Okay, next slide. I could talk about that history slide forever, by the way. It's very, very cool. So I'm just checking in. English speaking is completely separate from English writing. Showing your students that slide and that graph, that timeline, provides a context for them and their education so far. And they're suddenly completely relieved. Oh, this is why my speaking hasn't gone as well as I'd hoped. Even though I worked really hard at it, no one's actually taught me. You know, it's a ridiculous and, I'm going to say, cruel expectation that the entire industry has, that somehow you can teach information on the bottom line and expect a result somewhere else. You don't teach geography and expect a result in history. You know, it's cruel. So that means we have nothing for how speaking works. So that's what we're going to fill in today. So next slide. Mr. Slide Master, please. So teachers tell me all the time, draw me a picture. Can you draw me a picture? So I do a lot of pictures now. So I have 4 children. 2 of them know what a Venn diagram is, and 2 of them don't. So apparently it's pretty random if you took Venn diagrams in school. So basically Venn diagrams are circles that represent sets. So the blue diagram on the left represents the set, that is the Latin alphabet with the 26 symbols in it, and it's used for reading and writing. It's even kind of effective for reading and writing. The set on the right is the listening speaking alphabet. It's pink, and you can see the little blue circle is hopelessly inadequate for representing the 40 sounds of English. And in fact, the only place that they intersect is those 18 consonants there. So that's a picture of how come speaking isn't working right now. Okay, next slide, please.
Sorry, unmuting my mic because I want to say hi to Hala in the text chat. She's joined us. I'm not sure if she's going to join us in the Hangout, but I invited her, and she's certainly welcome to join us. But anyway, she's in the stream, so hi to Hala. And here's your next slide.
Okay, great. So we're going to provide a solution for this. We're at zero. There is nothing in place. You have to take away really everything that you've learned. You have to take away all the spelling rules and pronunciation rules and even the illusion that somehow you can get from writing to speaking, because you can't until you're fluent. You can't. You can if you're fluent. You can't if you're a learner. So what we need to put in place is a model that they can use that works in all situations. What is true all of the time about every conversation, about this conversation, about mama, tata, uppy, what works about that? Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? What works about that? What's true is it works. There is no grammar. There is no spelling. There's nothing that we've learned that has that work, but it works. So what is the model that makes speaking and conversation work? And when they have the model, they don't actually need you because it works wherever they are. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's go. Next slide.
Okay.
In our agenda, this is part 2. So this is sounds. So there are 40 sounds in English. There are 24 consonant sounds and 16 vowel sounds. And I'm embarrassed to say I was well into my 40s before I knew why a vowel was a vowel and why a consonant was a consonant. And then Catherine Brillinger, my guru, my teacher, she taught me, and I teach everybody who will listen. So consonants are sounds that stop. Can you see my little face, my little picture? Ooh, me down there, or no?
Mm-hmm.
Consonants stop.
Mm-hmm.
I
Stop.
don't see it.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're in the stream, what you can do is you can click on Judy's picture if you're in the Hangout, and then she'll be big. So then you can go back to the slideshow when she tells you can. Okay. Go ahead, Judy.
Okay, are we here? So consonants stop. I don't know, maybe you already know. I didn't, so. Consonants stop. B, m, t, th, sh. Something stops. The airflow technically is stopped or restricted. I just go with stopped because students can understand stopped. And vowel sounds. This is a vowel sound, and you're going to change everybody's life if you spend $1 at the dollar store and get a pack of these. And there's 6-inch elastics. And vowel sounds stretch. Vowels stretch, consonants stop. This is important because we can go back to the slideshow if you want. This is important because this is how languages are constructed, and what's working and not working is how humans alternate sounds that stop and sounds that go. It's a foundation point, knowing that, which I didn't know. Are we back at the slides by any chance? Yes. Okay. And this is just a hot tip. Always attach new information to things students already know. If you're present, if I do this and there's 200 people there, somebody always puts up their hand and says, what if they don't know anything? So I'll just give you the benefit of that. The first thing students learn in a new language, whatever language it is the alphabet, A, B, C, D of their language. They learn colors, they learn numbers, and of course they learn their name and their identification, you know. With those pieces of information, this whole system works, because if something is true, it's always true, and it's true even with the smallest pieces or the first pieces. So the first pieces are the pieces that we use to instill this system so every student can use it. Beginner students, every level of student can use it. The only difference between a beginner student and an advanced student is the time that it takes them to get and apply the system. Advanced students get it as fast as I can talk. Beginner students, they need more time. And intermediate, it's somewhere in between. Okay? Cool? You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Next slide. Please. So because they have no letters that represent sounds, they need a new language that represents speaking. My blackboard is actually a whiteboard, but a blackboard still works, is divided for all of time into left side and right side. The left side is always written and information, and the right side is always spoken information. So if they have a question about, you know, what's the difference, teacher, between sun and sun? Here's a South American question. What's the difference between sun and sun? Which, of course, sound exactly the same to me. And I say, can you spell that? And they say, yes. And they say, S-U-N and S-O-M-E. Sun and sun. I want sun the money. And you go, oh. And then that goes up on the speaking side of the board. That's a speaking issue. So the notation is slash bracket. So even if you don't have access to red, if you have a blackboard or if you're scratching this in the sand on a beach, slash brackets means makes the sound. So, and I draw a dog on the board. And I say, this is a dog. What sound does it make? And in Canada, we have students from a lot of different languages. I can have 13, 18 different languages in one classroom. So what I noticed is the dog says a different sound in every language. But in no language does the dog say dog. He says arf or woof or yeah or whatever he says, but the dog never says dog, never. And that's the distinction. That's the split that we're going for. So the thing is a dog, and the sound it makes is woof. We're going with woof. And this is how you're splitting their brain and separating the writing from speaking and supporting it for all of time. Okay, next slide, please. So this is the end result. This is, you don't show this to students. This is what you're going for. I'm just showing you. This is the peek under the kimono, the peek under your bathrobe, the secret. So this is what you're shooting for. So there are 24 consonant sounds, there are 18 familiar, and there are 6 new. And for notation in the speaking, the English phonetic alphabet, capital letters mean 2 symbols represent 1 sound. So there's the 18 that they know. So when we talk about you know this already, so there are 24 consonant sounds in English, you know them already. They go, really, do I? And you say, yeah. Okay, next slide, please. So you're borrowing them from the alphabet that they've already learned. Put on the board. I put blank B, blank D, blank F, G, H, blank. And this is how you attach it to what they already know. So they know the alphabet. And those 18 make the sound they think they're going to make, blah, 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 blah. I want you to look in this presentation for the asterisk. See that little red asterisk? And then at the bottom it says transformation. I don't know if you have a stiff drink near you, but you might need one. Information doesn't make a difference, and most of education is information. So information doesn't make a difference. For example, how do you lose weight? This is something everybody knows. This is 4 words. This is eat less, exercise more. The multi-billion-dollar industry we've turned into and exercise more has never lost anyone an ounce. That's only information. So unfortunately, and it's a dysfunctional system, and Rita Baker's
brain power.
What is that? Brain
power. Mm-hmm.
Will trot this out for you. It's only information, and information is not how people learn, but it's the foundation of the education system, which is sadly why our results are pretty bad. Even though we work hard and the students work hard and we really care, that the basic of how we do it is wrong. So Don't do that. But we don't know anything different, so here's something different. So transformation, you're looking for a shift. You're looking for I'm different. I'm more confident. I can do this. I can do this without you. Something has to change in their relationship to English, and we call that transformation, and that's our goal. So transformation happens in predictable places, and it happens here. When we're doing the 6 new consonants, sh, ch, th, the, ng, and zh, we start with shoe. So we put shoe, or doesn't matter, some sh word up, and then you put sugar, and they go, oh yeah. And then you put nation, and they're kind of going, oh dear. And then by the time you put machine up there, the room is very, very quiet. And the transformation is, this is the moment that they get. Letters are not going to tell me what something sounds like. Something just clicked. So they believed you when you told them the alphabet and writing and speaking aren't connected. They believed you. But this is the moment that it went into their hearts. This is when it hit them, like, physically. Church cello, picture, there's that horrible T. T's the worst one, terrible T. She shows up all over the place. She's just awful. They're not all as bad as T. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, next, please. So their world starts to look like this, and this poem goes on and on. It's not complete. It's got 6 stanzas. And you can see I talked very briefly about the left side of my classroom and the right side of my classroom. There's just not enough room on a slide to make this effective. But by the time you've taught them this and done exercises and worked on individual sounds that individual languages have issues with, you put stuff up on the board like this, and this supports their brain is split. So on the left is what speaking looks like, or English looks like, and on the right is what it sounds like. So when I read the whole poem from the left, the students look and follow with their eyes. So I read, we walked and talked and talked and walked and talked and walked, sat in the garden, looked at the flowers, talked and talked for hours and hours. He drank coffee and I drank tea. We sat and talked from 1 to 3, blah, 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 blah. But the students are looking on the right side, and here's the transformation in this exercise. Then you say, who would like to read out loud? Their absolute worst nightmare. Their worst nightmare for an ESL student is reading out loud in the new language. Agreed? And you certainly don't get volunteers for it. So you can feel this confirmation or transformation in your classroom when every student puts up their hand and you go, whoa, something completely different just happened. So, and God help you if you try to have a break without all of them getting an opportunity. So the babies, I just get them to read 1 line. The intermediate, they read 2 lines, and the advanced students can read a whole stanza. But they all need a turn. And when they read from the right side, and they say, we walked and talked and walked and talked, and they look right at you. And they go with the, I was perfect. I just generated English perfectly. You go, yep. And that never goes away. So if you give them a chance, then, well, if you give them a chance, they can do it. Okay, next, please. We're at the heart of the matter. So at some point, back when we said there's 24 consonants and 16 vowel sounds in English, they started to feel a little bit sick right then. They started to feel sick because they know there are 5. And so 5, 16, 5, 16, that's a big number. And again, you start with, it's all right. You know this already. You know this already. So you say, what are the vowels in English? And they say A, E, I, O, U, because everybody knows that. And then sometimes they say, and sometimes Y. They have to be pretty sophisticated. And I just say, we're going with A, E, I, O, U today. And they say, okay. And they keep rolling. So A, E, I, O, U, and they make 16 different sounds. And now they're really sick because they're confronted with that. And they know how hard they've tried. They know that you don't know that they can't do it. So to start with, you know this already. You can do this. Something wakes up in them. It stirs them. And they go, really? Because they believe everything you say now. You're the teacher. And you go, yep. because it's based in colors, and colors is the one, after the alphabet, it's the one thing that they know, the alphabet, their name, and colors. So what's amazing is inside the name of 16 common colors, there are the 16 vowel sounds of English. So you're, again, attaching this new information to something they already know, something they're good at, something that's quite simple. So this is the goal, and this is exactly how you do it. No, it's not exactly how you do it. It's, again, I'll show you the end result. I'll show you the end, and then I'll show you how to get there, okay? So the next slide is the end. Please go to the next slide, and there it is. Gray, black, green, red, white, pink, gold. Olive is a new sound that they might have to learn. New color, it's dirty green. It's very important to learn because it's the #1 most difficult sound for all languages. It's not in other languages. So they have to learn the ah sound. Blue, they know. Mustard, #2 biggest problem for most languages. They don't have the ah. It's the short vowels that are missing. Ah is short O, ah is short U. Wood is not a problem. I usually tap my desk and they can see the grain in there. Wood, that's the color. Turquoise is a little bit tricky because we're keeping the second sound, but by this point they don't care, and they can see that turquoise is a little bit green, a little bit blue. We're keeping the oi sound. Now no problem. The last 3 are the R vowels. Purple, charcoal, orange. Purple is very, very difficult for some languages and no problem at all for others. Purple's brutal for Asian languages. Brutal. Purple. So there's 16 sounds, but probably 12 of them are no problem. The ones that are a problem are olive, mustard, pink, and purple. If they have an accent or a problem, they're unintelligible because of their accent, the focus is on those 4. That's manageable. That's completely manageable for them. And most of all, they get to see all the ones that they can do. A, they have A. A is gray. All right, so that's the background. That's the peak behind the kimono. I don't want to burden you now. I don't know if your brains are blowing up right now or not, but I know I'm going pretty fast.
Judy, can I show your dictionary? I think it's great. It's another great title. Okay, just a sec.
Well, can you catch that before? Don't let me leave without doing that, okay? Because it'll make more sense closer to the end.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But it isn't in my presentation.
Fabulous title.
So thank you for bringing it in because I didn't put it in and we do. But I will show you on this chart. Please look at A. And the EPA, the English phonetic alphabet for A, is AY because it's 2 sounds. A, and both of them are in there. The capital means 2 symbols represent 1 sound, so it works in a stream of pronunciation. A is short, 1 symbol. A is short. E, the long vowels are long. I've never said diphthong to a student in my life. I've never said long vowel to a student in my life. I don't have to. A is long. It's 2 symbols. A is short. E is 2. It's not only 2 sounds. Both of them are written out for there. And this I'm going to draw your attention to close to the end. But it's part of the holistic system that works all the time. It's pretty advanced. We're not going there right now. Okay, so we're starting at the beginning again. So I don't know. Can you switch my screen to just me again, or do I do that?
Okay. Let's see.
Away from slides and back to my face. This is the only other time I'm going to do this for this presentation.
Okay. Let me get it over there.
Where? Oh, that something's happening. Something cool is happening.
Okay.
Can you see me?
Go.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Mom. Hello, Mom. Can you see me?
Hala has told me that it's working in the stream, so I've got you up in the stream now.
Awesome.
Is that right, Hala?
Like this. I don't mean to interrupt, but I have cards like this, and I show them to the front of the class, and I say, what color is it? And some student usually whispers from the back of the room, and they go, gray, and that's all I ever get. Doesn't matter how big the class is. I do it with teachers. That's still all I get. And I say, that's right. Gray, 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 gray. Can you hear the vowel sound A inside the color gray? Well, they can. Okay, can we go back to the slide?
Yes.
Please.
Yes, okay, here we go. We can in a way. Let's see, no, that would be over here. Okay, I have to share the screen again. Let me just do that.
I'm dazzled that you can do that, by the way, and relieved that I don't have to. I have mixed emotions.
Yeah, and it's coming up in the stream just fine, too. I'm watching the stream silently, of course, and I'm watching you talk now because the stream is a little bit delayed by about 30 seconds. But anyway, we're back at the slideshow. Are we back at the slideshow? Sure.
I can see the background in it.
PowerPoint.
Okay, we're at the PowerPoint. Yes, all right.
Not the slideshow, but okay.
The PowerPoint. That's
there. The PowerPoint has the background in it. Is that the difference?
Yeah.
I shared the wrong one.
Slideshow.
I know what I need to do. Sorry. I need to
click the slideshow icon. Is that it?
I can do that. Yeah, sorry. Let's see if that works. I may have to go back and screen share again. Sorry. I know I was dazzling you earlier, but
I'm still dazzled. Believe me, I'd be crying now. So.
Okay, let's see. There we go.
She's laughing because you know it's true.
Prepare to be dazzled. Which slide do you want?
You've come a long way,
Judy. I want the one after the color vowel chart.
After the okay. Yes, I read that. Because you said you were about to go back to the beginning again. So, okay, this one.
There. That one.
The one that's gray.
That's what I do. That's what you just saw me do. What color is this? It works with paint chips from the hardware store. It works for anything. But I made myself cards and I laminated them. So what color is this? Next slide, please.
Gray.
Gray. That's
Yay!
right.
I got it.
Think of other words that begin with the sound A. Actually, they can't. They might say may and they might say plague. Next slide, please. So I put the A card there in my ledge and I write on the board, may, play, because sometimes they say that. And then they start saying other things, which is great, but I make sure the crazies are in there. I make sure the crazy spellings are in there. So as they elicit, sometimes I take what they're saying, but I make sure great and ate and name and rain and they is actually better than hey, but who cares? You know, made, whatever. Can you feel the transformation? It's pretty darn quiet. This is the moment that they get a lot of things. So, yep, the spelling doesn't tell me what it says, but I can figure it out. I can remember that great is an 8-word, a gray word. Rain is a gray word. They is a gray word because I can hear the A in it. So the babies, I never move off this list. I never even change the order, but I go, what color is May? And then I point to the card at the bottom, and they'll say gray. What color is play? And they'll say gray. What color is great? And they'll say gray. So the intermediate, I change the order, start at the bottom, and for the advanced, I go right off the page. I say, what color's face? What color's train? What color's plate? What color's da-da-da? And they get it right away. So if they can hear A, if they can hear that sound A, that's a gray word. Done. Teresa is a gray word. I'm jumping ahead. That's what transformation looks like. You're giving them a tool they can use. It's not 100% in there yet. Next slide, please. Something started. So we do the same thing over again. What color is this? You got a black card, turn it around. Because it's not a trick. Black, 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 black. And you turn the card around, ah. Can you hear the vowel sound, ah, inside the color black? Yep, they can. Can you think of other words with the sound, ah? A little trick is if you start them out. If you say cat, then they're away to the races. Can you go to the next slide, please? So your board's starting to look like this. Cat, at, had. I like to put half on there because they like to pronounce health, and the L isn't pronounced, so that's a little bit fun. But laugh, look how crazy that is. Plaid, they might not know that word, so that's okay. I have a plaid scarf that I wear that day, and I explain the word plaid. So it's not really a vocabulary day, but they can learn one new word if it's supporting the idea. And then when I hold up the green card and I say, what color is it? The whole class is shouting. And they all say, green, to the top of their voice. Something happened. And it happened, it shifted. That's what transformation looks like. And it happens right in front of your eyes. And it happens in predictable moments. So they know what the color green is. It's not a trick. And they want you to know that they know. So green, can you think of any other words with the sound E? Yes, they can, and up go the spellings. What color is tree? That's a nice one because it is green. What color is teeth? What color is meat? And they go green, green, green. What color is cat? What color is laugh? What color is rain? What color is name? And you review as you're going along. So the advanced students, they'll get all 16 vowels in one day. Intermediate, I give them eight in one day and 8 the next day. The beginners, I give them four. I give them 4 a day. And the literacy, and there's a series of videos on this. The literacy, I do it backwards. If all they know is A, B, C, D, I say every word in English is a color. They have no idea what I said. And then I say A is gray. And they still don't know what I said. And then I said, B is green, and I put the cards up. And then I say, what color is C? Is it gray or green? And they go green. What color is D? Green. And they're done. Off they go. You can add infinite units to this system. Do you understand what I'm saying? Somebody nod or something. Do you get the system of overriding the spelling and having them hold the pronunciation with the color, with the in it? It's like, it's a couple of jumps away. Students get it in seconds because it's always true. So that, we're getting to the part where that vowel chart that I showed you with the column with the 16 in it. What it means is the pronunciation of every word in English is somewhere on that chart. Every word in English is one of those words. So let's go to the next slide.
Okay, as we're on our way there, Hala Fauzi in Saudi Arabia from Sudan, she's saying that she has a 4-year-old daughter who's doing them all at the moment. She's watching the screen.
Oh, that's cute. That's
and he asked for an example of an A sound, but it's on the screen now, so I think that's probably an old message. Okay, Hala, continue interacting with us in the text chat, and we'll...
Thank you for the question. That's an awesome question.
For me, it's the next mouse. That's my challenge, is which mouse is it?
So we've done a couple of things here. We've broken away. We had to dismiss, toss in the garbage, or put aside what they thought they knew, what they thought was working, which was spelling. It doesn't work. Give it up. Forget it. Get rid of it. It's fine for reading and writing. Writing has nothing to do with what we're doing. ABC has nothing to do with what we're doing, which is speaking English. People speak English all the time before they learn all that junk. So if you thought it was helping, it isn't. So this is going to help. So there's a little break there, and breaks hurt. I'm telling you, I can tell you're in pain right now. It hurts. I'm sorry. It hurts a little bit. But, you know, the bigger game here is progress, and that's the sacrifice we make is a little bit of pain. So don't leave them in pain for very long, and don't you say in pain. Just fill it in with an answer. You have an answer. You have an answer that always works. So letters don't represent sounds, but colors do, and you teach them all the colors, blah, blah, blah. And then The other thing that is always true in English, I'm harking back, if you will, to the patterns. What is always true? What's always true about English is a stress-based language. This comes up incidentally when you do the board is filled with all those words, because you have people and two-syllable words. So you get that people is green. Organically, you get that it's not people, and you get that it's not people. So people is a green word, even though it's more than one syllable. So this is where you get to say, you know this already. Remember how people was green? Remember how, oh, I don't remember what the list is. And the way to start is with names. So Judy. And I get my trusty elastic out. We don't have to get it again. But I pull my hands apart and I say, Judy. So there's two syllables in my name, but my name is not Judy. And it's not Judy. It's Judy. English is a stress-based language. There is one and only one most important syllable in any word. The most important syllable dictates the color. So here we go. Students understand the most important feature of English, which is it's a stress-based language, organically. They get that. Victoria, little Victoria, who's completely illiterate in a slum in Brazil, I said, you guys, there's the colors. Figure out what color your name is. And they answered in seconds. Andre said, I'm red. Patrick said, I'm black. Victoria said, I'm orange. It was mind-blowing. Children have no resistance to this stuff, and everyone's fascinated with their own names. I don't know if you want to figure out your own names now. Vance, what color's your name? Actually, anybody answer. Does anybody know what color? Vance.
I'm a banana. I'm a banana.
You are a banana. You are a banana.
I would say yellow. No, it's black.
Talked about Teresa is gray. If you say it properly, and Teresa if you say it wrong. Maria is, anybody guess? Teresa. What color's your name? I mean, Maria. What color's your name? Anybody guess?
Green.
Green. Good girl. And Robert, yours is the hardest sound of all. And many, many names are this hard sound. Robert. What color's Robert?
Olive.
Olive. John. Donna. Monica. Sean. There's a lot of word names. There's a list of names on the website. The color vowel charts are free download from the website. And if you're the least bit interested, also on the website is the flashcard word list, which lists horrible spellings for each sound. It's a really crazy spellings for every sound. It's called the vowel flashcard word list, because I made flashcards for it. But it's the word list that's the gem. So banana. You read that whole slide, okay, Kitty? Banana is not a word. Oh, this is also the secret, and students ask me this all the time. How do I tell which syllable's the stressed one? Students, I'm telling you, are so friggin' smart. So a word like important, where is the stress if it's more than one syllable? Where's the friggin' stress in that? Easy. Take your trusted, and you say, you know this already. I hope you're getting sick of hearing me say that. I hope you're so sick of hearing me say that, you start to say it yourself and make it true. You already know this. Because there's an incredible amount of information stored in your brain from English that you've heard. You just get to access it. So you access it by doing it wrong. Important, important, important. And the students break out laughing. They go, you know, not that one, not one, because they can identify when it's right. Got that? One syllable. Where's the freaking stress in that? Easy. Take your trusted, and you say, you know this already.
I know what's happening. Hala is has the stream going. So
Right.
Hala, you need to block the stream. I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that.
Oh, she
Oh,
disappeared.
didn't have to leave.
Mhm.
Okay, so Hala, when you come back, you're certainly welcome to come back. Just shut off the stream window and then join us in the Hangout, and that will work for you.
Let me just explain, if I may. Judy, Hala is a dear friend, and Peggy presented for her students several weeks ago. Remember? That's the Hala.
That's sounding familiar.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, next slide. Please.
It's coming. I'm not sure if my computer has decided to be recalcitrant.
It's
Is
there.
that it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So what color your name is just a really fun way to access this. Once they get one right and their name can be it, then that muscle gets stronger and they're more willing to try different words and use it on their own. So that's how they use that chart. It's very simple. It's really portable too. Portable. So can you feel how empowering this is for students to know that there's a piece of paper they can hold in their hand, and anything anyone says to them, they can map it on that chart and retain the pronunciation themselves. Anything that they're reading, they can map onto that chart. Can you guys excuse me for just 1 second?
I'm not blown away by this, but I can certainly anticipate some, resistance from my teacher friends.
Oh yeah, none from your student, but your teacher friends, absolutely.
No, exactly.
Yes. Oh no, it's a very special group of teachers will sit and listen to this, and usually the context, the history at the beginning, that lets everybody off the hook. There is no information that way in teacher training. So we're really, really attached, first of all, to what we learned in our education, even when it doesn't work. So
exactly.
Good or bad, the internet has provided transparency, and what's transparent is applied linguistics and grammar don't work for teaching English. It's transparent. There are hundreds of studies out there that actually we already knew that. You know, how long do we have the student? They leave the class, they speak exactly the same as the first day they came. And this is 100% true. And they tested on, they tested students and found they didn't learn any better or quicker or more effectively than students who weren't in school at all. Not only that, I can supply these tests with you, they'll just break your heart. So not everybody can digest. It's not for them. It's for you. It's for somebody who does want to know how to make a difference. There's tests in the States, I'm not laughing, this is horrible, that have trained teachers and non-trained teachers, and then they test the students. There's no difference in the result. It's the teacher training is the breakdown, and we're tremendously attached to that. Yes, resistance, amen. There's some freaking resistance. I'm Irish. We thrive on resistance. We have no identity without resistance.
Well, I'm from Argentina. We are connected with the Irish and with the Portuguese, suffering people.
Bring it. So what's the next slide? Oh, yeah. We're just revisiting. I revisit lots of similar styles of exercise and similar materials. So this has the vowels changed as well. So it's old friends again, but with the vowels changed. So there's the dreaded walked and talked. This is true for all of Central and South America who say, we walked and talked. Of course they do. That's exactly what it says on the left side. Right?
Because they want you to know that they mean past.
Yes, walked and talked. And you go, yeah, nobody says that. It looks like this. And then they can switch. They can switch in an instant. And they can't before you trot out both. Then they can make an English choice. Okay, we're winding down here. So can you...
Okay, and Hala is back, and she's cut
No,
off
she's
the stream.
not. Seems like she...
Yes.
It's grayed out.
Yeah,
Her
but
thumbnail is
maybe
grayed
doing that
out,
on
but...
purpose. But
yeah.
she's with us.
Oh,
Hi,
she
Hala.
is, yeah, joined the group, yeah. Okay.
Are you with us in the mic?
Yes, hello?
Hello, Halina. Who's
Hi,
this?
since I hang out
I want to say something about Peggy right now, since Hala's back here and she knows Peggy. On LinkedIn, I was talking this way, you know, my offensive old way, and my introduction to Peggy was because I just trashed IPA. I don't have to do that on my own. It's the typewriter. It's the crank phone of pronunciation and speaking. Nobody uses that. It's just it's not only obsolete, it never actually worked. Again, more horrible studies. But this woman, Peggy Tharp, responded on LinkedIn, and she said, I've used IPA for 30 years. I find it useful for my students, but I'm interested in what you have to say and the English phonetic alphabet. Can you send me a copy of it? And I said, sure. And I sent her by email a copy of the English phonetic alphabet. The next day, not 24 hours later, she responded, and she said, yours is better. And I said to her, you are my hero. Can you imagine 30 years dropped in a heartbeat? She said, this is better. She said, not only is yours better, I modified IPA myself over the years. On some level, I knew it was dysfunctional. I've made my own changes for my own students. And my alphabet that I was calling IPA, she says, looks almost exactly like yours. I hear that from teachers all the time. So anyway, that was my introduction to Peggy. And she is amazing. What an incredible mind. An incredible drive to just drop everything that she knew and change in 1 second. She's amazing. She's very, very, very good. Okay, takeaway for students. Rule number 1. These are rules. Real rules have no exceptions. There aren't many. So in speaking, there are only 6, which makes speaking pretty easy. And rule number 1, every word in English is a color, no exceptions. That's pretty easy for students to grasp and use. Rule number 2, English is a stress-based language. I didn't make this up. This is what happens. Every word in English is what happens at the sound level, and with the EPA, English is a stress-based language is what's happening at the word level. And it's also, if the stress is in place and the sounds are wrong, nobody really cares. Everybody has an accent. You don't have to fix an accent in South America, in Europe, in Russia. Everybody is completely intelligible. They just have an accent. The difference between accent and intelligibility might be my next Learning Together presentation, if you ever ask me that. It's really easy to identify and really easy to fix and very, very powerful for students to know, is my accent in the way of my understandability or not? But we're not doing that right now. Next slide. I have an app for that. There's an app for that. Teacher Judy Sound Dictionary app. Okay, what have we got? Oh, this is it. This is some candy for you. You're going to love me or hate me by this time. The 6 point, and I'm quite used to both, actually. I'm fine with either. This is it. The 6-point guide to speaking English. So column number 1, sounds, the phonetic alphabet. It's all there. 2, syllable stress and schwa. That's what you need to know about words. Syllable stress and schwa, the 3 S's, and that's how that works. And number 3, sentences. And this is where Peggy's Model comes in. Peggy's recognized what was the same at sounds is also the same at words and also the same at sentences and on and on and on. So they're important words or unimportant words. And that's it. For basic, every single ESL student in the world or EFL student, somebody who's trying to learn to speak English has to know those three things. And when they know those three things, they can participate in conversation. So they don't need all six. The last four are really advanced and really abstract, and it's what intermediate and advanced students need to know. They like to see the end of the path, and they like to plot themselves on it. So linking is why none of the words people say are in the dictionary. I mean, the dictionary is just the most useless book in the world. Look it up in the dictionary. No words that you said and look it up in the dictionary are in the dictionary. Look it up. Look it up. Is that in the dictionary? No, it's not. So linking is the root of that. And the essence of linking, and I didn't make up linking, but I got that linking means all words start with consonants. So not at the beginning of sentences. Nope, not at the beginning of phrases. You can start a word with or a sentence with I or an. But once that sentence is started, you can't. And this goes back to the consonant vowel things. So how humans talk is consonant vowel, consonant vowel. It's why there's an N between a and apple, between a and elephant. We must have a consonant between two vowel sounds, and we must start words with consonants if at all possible. So that's why English sounds like, do you want to get a cup of coffee? Do you want to get a cup of, do you want to get a cup of, none of that's in the dictionary, for goodness sakes. But back at sentences, point 3, they learned who cares. It doesn't really matter. Coffee is the only important word. So students struggle and struggle and struggle, and they're always insecure. I can't keep up. People talk so fast. So at point number 3 is when they learn to listen quickly and only listen for important words. And point number 4 just reinforces that. Linking is why they never have to speak with linking, but it's how people are always going to talk to them. And not to feel badly about it. Number 5 is expressions. That takes the rest of their life. So idiomatic, English is idiomatic, not literal. So this is also why grammar doesn't work. Students know what blue is, they know what moon is, they don't know what blue moon is, and they can't guess. So English operates on an abstract, a third level. So nobody understands native speakers. The crippling feature is native speakers are not invited to international meetings, and that's in that TEDx video. We use too many expressions. We're not mindful of our linking, and we use sophisticated grammar when it's not necessary. And because non-native speakers outnumber native speakers 4 or 5 to 1, and it's already happened. English has evolved into a global language with new rules. The English that we teach in school today is Shakespearean. Modern English was English that Shakespeare taught. It's not appropriate, it's not international, and it's not even current. If some of you teachers weren't feeling sick enough already, that should just take you right over the edge. But, you know, it's true. So who are your students speaking to? What do they need English for? So they're not waiting for us. We're not invited to international meetings. The international bankers had a meeting in, I think it was Ireland. And that was the rule. No native speakers are allowed because they intimidate everybody. Everybody's suddenly self-conscious, and everybody communicates perfectly without them because of the modifications to grammar and functionality. There's lots and lots of stuff out on Global English, and the best that I've ever seen is Jennifer Jenkins. Jennifer Jenkins, and she writes out of King's College. And she's written up the parameters for English as an international language. Amazing. I digress. Nonverbal is it. Who's ever on there with a 4-year-old, she's already figured out communication without any words. Mama tata api. You know, it all works. The tone of voice. Come here now. They worked out these cues, but it's something that we avoid teaching. And it's 80% of the message. So why we avoid what's important in favor of grammar, which is only marginally, if that, important, is beyond. It's because it was how we were taught to teach. It's more that stuff that we have to let go. God, I'm being hard on you guys today. I think because I give you candy like this, I think I can be mean. I'm not sure. You know, if you're prepared to replace it, you can't just sit and trash education. You must be prepared to supply answers. And I did that with Radical English. So please go to the next slide, and there's only 2 more. You made it. Go have that drink. The takeaway for you. So the other 4 tools that we talked about, that we did not talk about at length, were written out in the candy, in the chart that I sent you. Content, linking, expressions, body language. So it was my goal to show you a new way of looking at spoken English and how to teach it using colors. So you can do it quickly and effectively using colors. So you should know there's a full range of materials on this process, and they're available if you're interested. You're not alone out there. If this is something that speaks to you, there's lots and lots of support for that. And even free stuff and free webinars and free, what's that word? Oh, PB Works. What are those things called? Sites.
Wikis.
Wikis, free wikis. Yeah. So it's not about breaking the bank here. Can we go to the last slide? We're done. So there we are. I'm going to Radical English at radicalenglish.weebly.com. Loads and loads of answers, but you have to have an open mind. And I can tell you right now, if you've listened this far, your mind is open, and I totally acknowledge and applaud you. For sure. You're going to find something you like in there. You can find me and all this stuff at thompsonlanguagecenter.com. You can send me an email. The Twitter is going crazy. At Judy is Blue. I'm at Judy is Blue, and I just got nominated for a Twitter award for top 100 language Twitterers, which is awesome because I've been Twittering for about 1 month. I just started.
Bravo.
If that's any indication. Yeah, the Twitter's going well, the tweet.
Okay, can I show your dictionary now?
Oh, yes, I'm done. Thank you.
Let's see if it shows.
Oh, yeah. The
Okay.
Dictionary
Grass is black.
a sound dictionary,
That's
and the
title of
2,000 most common words in English
Right.
are divided by their main vowel sound.
Right.
So the sound dictionary and the app, students who know how to spell a word can look it up by the sound or type it into the app, and students who have heard a word can look it up in the appropriate chapter. So there's finally a bridge through color from writing to speaking, from speaking back, and the dictionary is based on that. It's really very cool. The dictionary is full of expressions too, and how the language is really going to be encountered by the students. But you're very, very smart to remember that. Thank you so much. Probably got here somewhere. Oh, you already got it.
If I can say a few words, first of all, I think you gave a great presentation. To be very honest, it's the first full presentation that I hear about your system, because I wasn't in Lidbury when Radical English met face-to-face for the first time. I was just here through Skype, or there, let's say, and didn't hear all the presentations that everyone did. Okay, so I really enjoyed it. Second of all, I'm glad that you joined the Webheads. I've been talking to you about the Webheads, you and all the Radical teachers, for going on 2 years, a year and a half or so, okay? And third, last but not least, I would like to thank Judy, because she is, above all, the members in Radical English, the one that really motivated me to go into my e-dictionary, which I use the word that Judy just used at the end, which she said bridges the L1 and the L2. Hi, Bobby.
She says, hi, Bobby. Teresa says,
Hi.
hi, Bobby.
How are you? Nice to see you. Okay. So anyway, I would like to thank Judy for really motivating me, together with the other radical teachers, radical English members, I mean, for doing this project, carrying it out, something that started in January 2003. So I use Portuguese sounds to teach my students, and I'm retired. I've been retired for 5 years, but I did it through for about 6 years, using Portuguese sounds to teach my students how to pronounce English. And I have to say they had very good pronunciation. They understood what I said. I was always talking in English in class. And I'm very happy. I hope to self-publish it soon, and maybe then go into a different venture, which is joining Judy's system, the color system, with my system. But that's a different project. First, I have to finish this first one. So thank you, Judy. On all counts.
Can I say something?
Could you hold that book up again, please?
Yes, I can. Let's see. Tell me if it's okay. Oops.
Glass is black.
Yes. And I have the other one. Maria, go ahead, and then I'll show you.
There's one.
Right, English is stupid. That's the one that got me.
This is what it looks like on Amazon. And the workbook looks like that. Am I going the wrong way?
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
Those are for the individual sounds, and the dictionary on Amazon looks like that. And there it is, the color chapters, the reds, the greens, the blues, in order.
Exactly.
With expressions. So the black squares mean this is where, these are expressions that the words are used in. That's what students need to know. You know what blue is and moon is.
Okay, Maria, want to go ahead?
Well, I just wanted to thank everyone for being here. I was stuck with the other alphabet, and now I have to study this thing. It's great that you make it all available online. I heard about you just a few weeks ago while I was in a conference in Jujuy, in the north of my province, where the embassy was giving out posters of your color chart vowel, and I said, well,
wow,
resistance, no, one more thing to study. Now we teach with vowels.
Oh yeah.
but hearing and being here today makes it all make sense. Now somehow makes sense, and thank you so much for taking so much work on this, which is an issue. It's the reason why some of our students hate learning languages. It's because of us. Because of us insisting so much on grammar and all that.
You're my hero. That's true. You're so brave.
You know, Maria, that one of the things that really I related to Judy through this one specific thing. First of all, the title of her book, and then what I saw when I Googled her name, and then the fact that she hated IPA, and the fact that I always hated IPA. I never used it when studying in school. I didn't need to, because I had been very lucky to learn English in a British school and then in America, where I studied for 4 years, etc. But I never liked it when I had to use it in linguistics in college. Always hated linguistics, both English and German. And so I never used it with my students because I didn't think it was a method that would help them in any way. It didn't help me. So, you know, I projected myself into them and say, how can they understand this? And I'm also kind of sad, happy at the same time, but sad that I only got this flash going through my mind in January 2003 of using Portuguese sounds, and we have many sounds that are really useful. And one thing, Judy, different from you, I use diphthongs in my dictionary, in my sound system, because they are really helpful, and we have 5 diphthongs, okay? So that's it. Thank you, Judy. And thank you, Vance.
Yeah, I think Hala wants to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Well, first, I would like to thank you for a very thought-provoking presentation, even though I came late, but I will definitely go to listen for the beginning of your presentation. But I could see so many things about NNEST and NST, intelligibility, mutual intelligibility, and accent, and I think you could do something about mutual intelligibility. Actually, this is what I'm teaching my students. My students are future English language teachers, and you know, I come to the class where the students pronounce computer. I don't say computer, I say computer. And they say like category. How do you say it, Vance? Category?
Category?
Yeah, just yeah, but I say category. It's the T is there. I don't want to say the T is there on the dictionary, but it's there. So I'm just I keep on telling them, as long as you are very clearly understood by the addressee, don't worry about the accent. And it's lingua franca now. It's not English as a foreign language. It's not English second language. It's lingua franca. So just make sure that you are understood clearly, because you know it's not only about as Vance knows, it's not only about the vowels. I know they are major problem in pronunciation, but it's also about the consonants. Like when they pronounce stop as is stop, or school as is school, speak as is speak. So this is what causes the problem. As when Peggy presented to my students, we tried to find solutions to why she presented a very thought-provoking presentation. She presented the problems and she showed them why actually does this happen, and then they discussed and they tried to find some solutions to this problem. So and again, it comes the problem of the native speaker teacher and the non-native speakers. It's not about who's better. It's about so many factors. I would like. I'll be very interested if you want to present or to do something or to do some work about native speakers and non-native speakers teachers. Thank you. This is very interesting. I like the chart and I like this, and I'm going to send this to the teachers who are teaching phonetics in my department. Thank you.
Okay, that's awesome, and a really progressive reception. So that says to me something about you. So thank you very much. You know what? Just straight up, go and buy the app. It's $1.99. The vowel chart is in there with the sound of the vowel chart. And the word list is in there. So the app for $1.99, they can get you, and they can get from speaking to, or from writing to pronunciation, which they badly, badly want, and they can get from listening back to spelling. That's what I want. I can't spell my own name. So both of them are there for $1.99. So it sounds like a big pitch, but if it was a big pitch, it would be $1 million or $1,000. It's $1.99. You know,
right.
That's not going to kill anybody. It's not going to kill a student either, and it's really, really going to help them. It's only on Apple and Android, so I hope you have Apple or Android.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. All my students have. All my students, they have smartphones.
Okay, so that poster works really well with a stinking little $1.99 app.
Harlina, I have to send you a beijinho.
Hey, beijinhos.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
I just want to say thank you, and I need to get ready to go to bed. It's 11:30 here.
Wow.
Almost.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging in, Robert.
Yes.
Thank you. Interesting. I'm gonna send you an email. I have a couple things I want to ask you about.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, my turn to say thank you. You saw Bobby here. She's home from work from Abu Dhabi. She works in Abu Dhabi, so we're dealing with that. But anyway, she's here now, and I think she wants to have dinner, and so I'm going to probably leave myself in a few minutes. But I certainly appreciate your coming, Judy. It's been very interesting. People have certainly appreciated this, and it's great to. I mean, I've been looking around this presentation as Teresa said, she's never really sat through the thing and really got it, you know. So that was really useful and interesting, and certainly appreciate the work that you've done and the insights that you're giving us into teaching and learning languages. So thank you very much.
Thank you for hosting. You're great. Thanks.
Okay, so I'll be going out for a coffee.
I'll be going for breakfast.
You're good. Yes, right. Have a nice breakfast, Judy.
Nice lunch here.
Bye-bye.
Nice lunch, Maria. It's been a great session. Vance, I do hope that several people listen to this, listen to the recording, because it's really useful. Okay?
Okay, well, this is our regular, usually Sunday Learning Together session. This week, I'm just going to mute Hala there for find the right. There we go. Okay. So anyway, this is our regular Sunday session, but we're doing it on Monday due to holidays here or whatever. But anyway, I guess we're back next Sunday. Next Sunday, Nellie Deutsch is starting one of her conferences, and it starts actually on Sunday at 1600 GMT. If anybody wants to do a Learning Together session, we could probably consider that. Not a problem. The week after that is Shelley Terrell talking at that same conference that Nellie is putting on, and then Malu from Brazil is going to be with us on the 25th of May, talking about writing. So lots of interesting practical sessions. In July, I might be traveling. I'm not sure when my stable internet connected points will be, but as that comes clearer, we'll make some more plans for July. We have nothing planned for August. If anybody wants to edutain us in August, we'd be certainly happy to hear from you. So anyway, thanks very much for coming online and joining us and edutaining us, as it were. Thanks very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Judy, and thank you, Vance. Bye-bye.
And this will all be, the recording will be archived at learningtogether.net, and the links will go out to our social networks, but learningtogether.net is where you can find this posted probably tomorrow.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks.
Yep.
Sure.
Bye.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.